And welcome back to Nissan's GT Academy 2012. We are at the national finals here, and we have our final group of the entire event just about to run.
Yes, it's great. It's been so much fun over these last 2 days watching these guys compete, and so to finally be down at the very end here, this is very exciting. A little sad. I know I've had a great time here, and so it's been a real pleasure to watch the best of the best play out on the world's best stage and grandest stage in sim racing.
Well, hopefully it'll be the first of many occasions to broadcast the game. So.
Yes, hopefully, yes. Thanks to Nissan for continuing to support this competition.
Yeah, it's been really cool to have their support and the support of others here, as this has just been an awesome event. So this group is Group 5. In this group, we have Matt Cresci, whose camera we're actually watching right now. He's the #1 seed in this group. Then Brian Rice, Darwin Alvino, and Reese Gould. So that is our running order so far. Also, we want to let you guys know that Group 4 did post their results, unofficial of course. Kyle Preston, who actually went in with 26 points, did 2-0 the group, finished first place and then first place. So he will actually end up with 38 points. That actually ends up the points leader, I think, to the best of my knowledge, because I said that Patrick would have 36, since that's what he had. But I think Kyle Preston does take the #1 overall seed. Then we had a big shakeup. In heat #1, it went Kyle, then it went Steve Doherty, then Ed Gomez, then Austin Cobb. Austin Cobb came into this on the cut. He was number 17, and that was a bad result for him because he wasn't able to get any points. But then in heat 2, it went Kyle Preston, then Austin Cobb, then Ed Gomez, and then Steve Doherty after that. So Austin Cobb ends up with 16 points. That's going to be right at the cut. We'll see if that's enough for him.
Yeah, that's going to be very close. I'm sure he'll be very nervous. I'll tell you what, to make it to Silverstone is quite an accomplishment. That is a very, very special thing. So good luck to him. Good luck to all these guys that are sitting on the bubble.
And for now, we are looking at the qualification lap of Matt Cresci. So he is in the lead car, as we can see here, and trying to set himself a nice time. These GTRs have proven to make for some pretty interesting racing, but it's really racer skill that's going to shine through here.
Yes, on a track like Spa, you know, as we've been saying, you know, the tiniest mistake that you may not even realize that you've made can really affect your performance through the next several set of corners. And so really a very technical track, a very fast track, and a track that has really shown some interesting racing. We haven't had that much wheel-to-wheel racing, but
no.
You know, it's been pretty exciting nevertheless to see how things have played out.
A fair bit of passing, and so I do remember from the first set of groups, we did have that ridiculous 3-wide up the hill, which was pretty fun to watch. No such thing in the second set of groups, in Group 3 there, but we'll see if we get something like that out of Group 5. So far, a pretty clean lapping set by Matt Cresci at the moment.
Yes, looking very solid, very smooth so far, and it'll be interesting to see as the time comes in just how close of a group we will have here, and in terms of lap times.
And stretching the car to the limit as well. So we'll see how competitive this is going to be. Of course, once again, we saw the very clean, precise laps out of our racers last time, out of Jed, out of Patrick. But of course, they had a few laps in the car at that point. This is our racers' first look at this particular combination, though.
Yes, it is with the Thrustmaster T500 RS wheel. Of course, a very accurate recreation of the Nissan GTR with the paddle shifters in the GTR. So just as the drivers are all using here, it's a very true-to-life competition right now with this car and track configuration.
Yeah, now see, I'm one of those. I know we were talking about this before, but I'm always one of those guys who will run as 2:26.217 is going to be the time to beat here. And we'll take a look as the other racers come in here. This is actually Brian Rice coming in next, and he did set a... should be totaling up here momentarily. 2:26.365. So just
wow,
1/10 of a second afterwards.
Yes.
Up next is Darwin Alvino, and oh, unfortunately, he did have a big spin out there. So he's going to be making things up here, but he will unfortunately fall quite far behind.
Yes, big mistake there on his qualifying lap, but this is just qualifying. So as long as he has the speed elsewhere on the course, he should be able to make that up.
And looks like he is going to clock in with a 2:36.456. So about a 10-second differential there. And Reese Gould coming in right behind, and he is going to post a 2:27.990. So third and fourth are swapped, but the rest remains the same. Matt Cresci in 1, Brian Rice in 2, Reese Gould in 3, Darwin Albino in 4, and that's our starting position.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. There was a small mistake there, but not too big of a gap. So maybe we will be in store for some tight racing. I'd love to see that on the last 2 heats here. That would be a real treat for everybody watching at home.
And to give you guys an idea as to where our racers stand, both Reese and Darwin are sitting with just 14 points right now. That puts them exactly on the cut, 15th and 16th place respectively. So they need all the points they can possibly get, and we'll see if they're able to battle back and start taking some spots from our top racers here.
Yes, it'll be interesting. We'll probably, we may see a similar type of battle form. We usually have a battle in the front for the top 2 positions and then a battle at the back. So maybe actually I hope that doesn't happen because it's kind of hard to know which camera to switch to.
Let's just hope we get wheel-to-wheel racing the entire distance, all 6 laps.
That would be perfect. That would be a great ending to a great competition.
You were talking before about the configuration with the Thrustmaster T500 wheels being that they are, mirroring the paddle shifting of the GTRs that we're actually looking at here. Go ahead and see if there's any developments right off the line. And a little bit to speak of, actually 3 wide really quick. And unfortunately, Brian Rice slipping back to 4th at the moment. Both Darwin Albino and Reese Gould passing him up.
Yes, he really did. He did not fare well through that first turn there. I'm not sure what happened, but they just seemed to. He seemed to be end up in the worst position after all that shuffling there in the first turn.
And it looks like driving a little bit hard there to try and make things up, but not going to work out for him. Pretty good shot there of all our cars coming down the line. A little bit different lines being taken for both of our third and fourth seeds there, Darwin and Reese. And it looks like they're right neck and neck. Inside line is going to Reese at the moment, but he's not able to take advantage of it. And Darwin does maintain possession of second place.
Yes, always interesting to see what happens after that charge up the hill there on this course. This is such a great course. It's a little bit, I thought that was side-by-side racing, but actually.
Yeah, Brian actually passing up Reese once again and moving into 3rd place.
Yes, that was a great pass.
Okay, so a lot of action already to start things off, but all the while, Matt Cresci has been extending a little bit of a lead from 1st to 2nd.
Yes, he has, and it looks like Brian is taking some heat right now, but no mistakes on their first lap here. So there's still a lot of racing to come. So
again, important to note that Darwin Albino is tied for 16th place right now with just 14 points. So securing himself a 2nd place finish right now would just be a huge benefit to his chances into making it into the next round.
Yes, Matt Cresci is doing a great job out front. It's worth mentioning him. He's not in this back part of the pack here, but he's doing a great job out front. And but it looks like this is where our good racing is going to be today.
That is certainly right, as 2, 3, and 4 are all pretty close at the moment. Now, there's certainly still room for Matt to make an error, but of course, with 26 points that he's accumulated overall so far, he certainly hasn't made too many mistakes over the course of this competition.
No, that he has built up a good reputation of being a steady driver. Actually, was that Brian making a move there? Yes,
Whoa.
It was.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a wide line from Darwin coming through that chicane out into the straight, and Brian was able to take advantage of it.
Yes, a very good move, and now he looks like he's gained a little bit of time up in that main straightaway there. Now he'll be going up to Eau Rouge, and we'll see if maybe Darwin. I don't think Darwin will be able to make any move, but we could be in for a treat coming up the hill here, depending on who gets the best line. Such a famous corner. Okay, actually, we have a little bit of drama there, and it's like Darwin is going to take.
Oh, wow, we're 3 wide again.
Wow.
And look at that. It's actually Reese Gould who actually comes right and splits the needle and moves into 2nd place. Amazing stuff.
Incredible. Those drivers, you could tell what happened. They were just paying attention to each other, and here comes Reese Gould, and he just flies through and takes full advantage. Now we have Brian in 4th place now. So,
wow, what a turn of events. So the hill proving to be exciting, or kind of our most exciting portion of this course once again.
Yes, one of my favorite sections of racetrack in the world of Gran Turismo. You could say, looks like this is a pretty good battle right here we have going on.
And it was interesting to see how that developed as well, because Brian initially had a little bit of trouble, and it caused he and Darwin to kind of back off for a little bit. They split as Darwin wanted to take the outside to pass a slower opponent, and Reese just threaded the needle, went right through the middle of them, so not losing anything at all. Now, of course, all this did serve to do was put Matt Cressy way farther in the lead, as he is very comfortably in first place.
Yes, he's really built up a great cushion, as we've said several times now. On this this track, even the smallest mistake can really take a lot of time off the clock. So that additional cushion that he has given himself now, or these guys have really given him because of their infighting, is really playing to his advantage.
Okay, well, barring a big mistake out of him, it is his race to lose. So even just nice, comfortable and conservative laps from here on out will be able to secure him the victory. As we can see, though, a little bit of distance between Reese Gould and Darwin Albino at the moment, and the fight is between Darwin and Brian, but Brian going a little bit wide there and actually losing some time off the third place racer.
Yeah, Darwin looks like he may be in a position to fight for second. He needs all those points that he can get. So if he definitely wants to be closer to second rather than fourth, absolutely.
That is very true. So, all right. Well, we'll see what happens now. We are on the third laps. We're about a third of the way done with this race as well, and we'll see who can make up some time here, as looks like Reese just went a little bit wide and allowed third and fourth to catch up to him again.
I believe so, yes. Looks like Darwin is still holding his position. Looks like these guys are actually starting to spread out a little bit. So I think that exciting racing may have spoiled us for just a little bit. But yeah, it looks like could still anything could happen. They're still very close in terms of Spa. We have to take into consideration what track we're looking at here.
That's very true. So even when you look at that and you're like, oh, there's 4 or 5 car lengths there. What does that matter? Oh, wait, they're going 160 miles an hour. That's actually nothing at all. That's going to be bumper to bumper during the turns.
Right. It's very easy to forget that here. But yeah, it looks like Darwin is reeling Reese in here on these technical section at the top of the hill.
He's doing a good job at just that. Now, both these guys who we mentioned before do need points. I mean, they are directly competing against each other, not just in this race, but also in terms of overall standings. Darwin and Reese are tied. So if they know they're able to outduel one or the other, that directly gives them the advantage over one opponent that they know of. So,
yes, it's a race within a race, really, at this point between these two. So both of them need points. Tell you what, it's a...
let's just hope we don't get another couple of races within races in there, because then we're close to Inception, and that's fun for no one. So, but okay, well, here we are as things coming right off, coming through the back now, and that's funny. I've been in the habit all weekend of looking over and looking at the even number groups as well to see what their race is doing, so I can kind of update on it. And I was like, whoa, that's wheel to wheel. Oh, wait a second, there's not an even number group. That's just 2 race officials that are playing, or actually. Yeah, 2 race officials that are just racing there. So, 2, 3, and 4 are actually very, very close, as Reese has Darwin right on his bumper.
Yeah, Darwin has really made a good push through that section of turns there. He may be in a position to pass at the chicane if he can get a good line. Not quite close enough, but we could be in for some pretty close racing coming up on the first turn through Eau Rouge.
I certainly think we will be as well. So, well, it looks like lap number 4 is starting. This race is about halfway done. Don't forget, guys, this is heat number 1. We still have one more heat after this, and then the racing actually comes to a close this weekend.
Yes, that will be it for the U.S. GT Academy Finals. It's been such a great event. Actually, look here at Darwin. He's reeling him in. He's looks like he's in the draft just a little bit. Wow, what a great view that is. I love to see Eau Rouge in a Gran Turismo game. I still cannot believe that I'm watching Spa Gran Turismo title after all these years.
It is pretty cool, though, I have to say. And everyone coming up the hill now, and no one really making a move at the moment.
Like, but Reese is really playing the defense here. Went offline. He's going to take the inside line into this first corner. So it may have paid off for him. He's able to hold the position.
And, yeah, Darwin not able to get anything done there, but certainly made it exciting for a second. Tried to pull outside there. Oh! Way off the course, though, for Reese. Doesn't look like it's going to cost him too much time, but things have considerably even up. 2, 3, and 4 just right on each other's bumper.
Wow, we definitely have a 3-way race going here. So a lot of drama on lap 4. So we're past the halfway mark, well past the halfway mark, so time is running out for these guys.
And this is important for everyone. Brian Rice currently sitting in 10th with 20 points overall, but certainly needs a few points just to secure himself that victory 100%, absolutely. So,
yeah, we haven't talked that much about Brian, but he has stayed with Reese and Darwin, so he could definitely be a factor if we see them get into a battle.
That is certainly true, and coming through these technical corners right through here, and we'll see if anyone tries to make a move in just a bit, because one more big corner, a couple sweepers, a chicane, and we are at the end. So this is, of course, lap 4, as I mentioned before, and just 2 more laps to go after this, but certainly a lot of racing to be done.
Absolutely, yeah, and we still have the next heat to go, so it'll be interesting. These guys are much closer matches than some of the other groups that we've seen, so I'm excited for the second heat too. Hopefully we'll have a dramatic finish.
Okay, well, last big sweeper there, and we are making our way up to the chicane, which, of course, as we haven't mentioned yet, Matt Crashy has already passed. He is leagues ahead at the moment.
Actually, we have some drama here. Darwin goes wide into the first corner of the chicane, and that puts him at the back of the pack. Looks like Brian took full advantage of that. Now he's up into third, and Reese is doing well in second there. It looks like he was able to avoid all of all those shenanigans.
Yeah, that is quite a large development, though. As we mentioned, it bears repeating. We'll probably say it again before both of these heats are done, but Darwin and Reese are tied in points, and they are sitting on the cut. So there's only 4 people that are going to be underneath you that are going to be eliminated, and if you know one of them's there, you give yourself that much better of a chance to survive to the next round.
Yeah, it looks like Darwin may be gaining on Brian here. So it looks like he's going for a pass, actually, and I believe he already has that position going into the braking zone here.
Yes, he does. So
a very clean pass, a very, very good set of driving there from both drivers, really keeping it clean. Brian didn't put up too much of a fight. He could see that Darwin really had the momentum coming up the hill.
Very interesting. So we're going to need to see someone catch up to Reese, though, in a second, as Reese is really starting to gain some steam. He's out on his own now. He doesn't have to worry about fending anyone off or trying to overtake anyone. So he actually has or is starting to put up some pretty impressive times. He still has a very long way to go before even coming close to Matt Crashy, but he's making some impressive gains. Yeah,
Matt Crashy is really nowhere to be seen in the best possible way right now. But definitely the battle here is for third and fourth. But Darwin really needs this last point, so he really needs to hold off Brian.
And we'll see if he can do just that. Again, pulling back towards the bottom of the course. Big turn here, and we're back into that very long light turn section before the chicane. So we'll see what these guys can offer. Matt just continuing to dominate ahead. But things can happen here, especially leading up to that chicane. It is just very close right now.
Brian's getting a look on the inside of that really fast corner, but he may be thinking about making a pass going into the final chicane. But no, he looks like he's a bit too far back.
All right, well, here comes the chicane now. We'll see if Brian wants to make a move. And indeed, he is trying to go to the inside and does, but is he going to pay for it? Yeah, just try to get inside at all costs, but that's going to allow Darwin to really move ahead.
Yeah, it's just a classic dive bomb mistake there, and just push the braking zone a little too far. It's so easy to do, especially going into that last turn. I've seen so many of the world's best drivers do that. It's so easy to do. Just a fraction of a second late, and you're going to come flying through that turn. But it didn't cost him too much time. Looks like he's still with Darwin here. He'll be able to fight for the position again shortly in just a few more turns, I would say. May actually get a great run up the hill out of Eau Rouge here.
Yeah, that's just what I was about to say. I mean, Darwin ended up not really gaining much out of that. Don't know if he was a little bit surprised by the car that was just flying in front of him there for a little while, but didn't pull out of the chicane as fast as I think he would have liked. As we can see, both third and fourth are now considerably behind Reese in second, so a lot of ground to still be made up.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Darwin wanted to make sure that there was no contact, so he waited to moved his turn-in point down quite a bit. But yeah, both racers really keeping it clean. This is really a great battle.
And we are on lap 6. This is lap 6, the final lap of heat number 1. So
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I was watching this battle. Yeah, last lap. That's
already there and already halfway through it, as a matter of fact.
Yes, we certainly are. Actually, I'd say Matt Cressy is probably going to be crossing the finish line any minute now. He's so far ahead, has built up a huge lead. We'll see if he can repeat that performance in the second race. These guys here are bumper to bumper. We could really come down to the wire.
That is certainly true. So, and both these guys have shown themselves to be very aggressive as well. Both Brian and Darwin. So, expect pretty much anything out of these guys as we pass through the last couple of corners here. Oh, a little bit out of shape for Darwin, but he's able to hold on. And Brian, despite the fact that he's right on his bumper, not able to make a move yet.
No, not yet. This is a very difficult place to pass with these really high-speed corners. So. Brian may try to make a move in the last game, but it looks like he may be a bit too far back to try anything too seriously. He will that dive bomb attempt that he made in the last lap will certainly be fresh in his memory. So he probably won't be repeating that mistake again.
What? If it doesn't work, just try it again. That's my philosophy. My philosophy also seems to be to lose all the time in online races. So who knows? And wow, that's actually the end of the race for Matt. So that's why that screen just came up, and it does indeed look like Darwin's going to be able to hold on to third place. So Reese Gould in second, Darwin in third, Brian Rice in fourth. So really, I mean, both third and fourth needed some extra points. I've got to hand it to Reese, man, stepping up really when it was absolutely necessary.
Yeah, he took full advantage of the battle going on behind him and just put in a lot of solid laps. He didn't think about it at all, and he didn't think about the fact that he couldn't win. He just separated everything out, and he came home with a great second place finish. So congratulations to him.
And that does give him 17 points now, and just one step closer to ensuring that he will remain in the competition, make that cut for the top 16 contestants that are going to be heading out to Silverstone Circuit in the UK. But for now, we have one heat left, and the competition is over.
I know. I can't believe it. This time has gone by so fast. I hope you guys at home have had as much fun as we have here. It's been great to see this play out. It's the sim racing's grandest stage, and really a high level of competition. We've had some close races, we've had some not so close races, but there's been some drama going on, especially as we've moved to the later rounds to see who needs to get points and and who can afford to hang back and drive a little more conservatively. So it's been great to watch.
And we want to give a big thanks to our sponsors as well. Of course, Nissan for putting on the event. It's been wonderful to have them involved. Amazing cars, a great venue, great event. So thanks very much for their support. Sony, of course, and Polyphony Digital for making such an awesome platform and game. Human Racing for their chassis, their GT chassis that they were giving away. Two of them, as a matter of fact. One to the winner of Racer X and another one to the winner of the time trials in which Racer X tried to get into the main competition. Thrustmaster for their wheel, the T500 that they've been supplying. Amazing wheels. Have had the absolute pleasure of using them for a lot of laps this weekend, and it's been great to drive on them.
Yeah, it's been great to join you guys here at the IGN FEL too. I mean, excellent
Why,
production. It's been a real pleasure with being here with you, Kevin. You've done a great job, and we're actually 9 seconds away now from our last race of the GT Academy US Finals. So here we go. Let's see what we have in store.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. The countdown starting here momentarily as we have a bit of a black screen, but then things will get going. Again, you never have to load the tracks in real life, if nothing else. And there we are. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at Matt Cressy's view once again. It was a little point in watching him from the first-person perspective last time because he was just dominating. That's not where the race was at. But this time, at least for this first couple of turns, he is still going to be pretty close to everyone else.
Darwin actually fights his way up to second place there, so a really good result for him.
Oh, that's actually pretty big as well for Reese, who's immediately back and forth.
Yeah, he really came out on the short end of the stick there from that tussling in the first corner.
But, of course, we're getting to some of the most fun parts of the course where we've seen a ton of action happen, and we'll see if that's going to be the same here. We are taking a look at Darwin's car at the moment, but everyone just really gearing up. It looks like Reese may be thinking about trying to get in position to make a move, but I don't know if he's going to be able to duck inside of anyone here after this turn. He's going to try, though. And he, well, no, isn't quite able to pull it off. Looks like Brian going to maintain possession of third, if only slightly.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Darwin is putting a lot of pressure on Matt here. Matt is not, of course, we're just in the first couple of turns, but Darwin is definitely hanging with the leader who just won so dominantly in the first heat. He is sticking with him. So starting to get a little more space between the cars, but so far everybody is sticking fairly close together. Reese will need to make sure that they don't get too much of a lead. But great performance by Darwin so far.
And so we do have a few big turns here where people have tried to make moves before. If they can catch the inside line here, they will be able to hit that line twice because of the way the corners are configured here. It doesn't look like anyone's really going to be able to make a move, except Brian is able to come inside of his opponent there for just a second. Reese trying to take advantage of this as well. A couple of tires off the track, but it looks like he's able to hold on and takes over third place, if for the time being. So great driving there by Reese. Really well done.
Yeah, it looks like he just dropped a wheel there, but it looks like he's going to hold that position just fine. Yeah, it looks like Darwin was really understeering and overcooked those turns, and Brian and Reese didn't quite know what to do with themselves, and we ended up with those results there. So Darwin actually going a little wide in that corner. Don't know if the stewards, no real advantage to him there, so I don't think the stewards will care about that. But yeah, so far it looks like we got a battle here going on in third and fourth with Brian and Reese. That seems to be where the action is right now.
Yeah, kind of an interesting choice of lines there from Brian as he was passing through the chicane, and Reese able to take advantage of that. Oh, huge amounts of contact, and wow, that actually drives Darwin pretty far off the course. He's able to hold on to second for now, but that is a significant impediment to his time.
Yeah, definitely. Darwin was unscathed from that, but yeah, Reese is now in fourth, but yeah, that was a little scary. I was hoping, okay.
Wow, and once again, Brian actually getting really off course and more contact once again as we come up the hill. This is just insane, and looks like Reese going to be able to jump into third as a result of all of that. Brian back and forth. Darwin still holding on to second. Matt Cresci just saying, is there something happening behind me? I don't really know, as he just continues to tear away in first.
Yes, Matt may, he's thinking this is just another time trial, but these guys are doing they're doing a great job. They're not letting him get quite the lead that he had, which was just 2 laps in. So we'll see how there's still a lot of racing left here in this final race of GT Academy. So go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I'm sure this race is going to come under review at the end, though, because of the contact we saw around corner one as we came out of the first lap into the second lap. So I'll be curious to see how that gets handled, if penalties are going to be given out there. But certainly that's going to be something the race stewards are going to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll have our tentative results but you never know what the stewards may want to do here. So we'll see, but it's definitely going to be as important for these guys to get as many points as they can. Oh, we have some going wide there, dropping, but no position changes, it seems.
Looks like Brian was trying there. A little more contact once again. These drivers just so close to each other at the moment. We find ourselves kind of in a familiar position, but Darwin actually the one who's able to take advantage of it this go-around, as he is pretty comfortably in second at the moment. And a big move here from Brian. Is he going to be able to make it work? Looks like he's trying to move inside of Reese at the moment. He's taking the inside line through here, and Reese. Oh, wow. Sent way off course. And Brian actually maybe overreacting a little bit to what Reese was doing. Goes way off course as well.
Yes. That's a lot to see what's going on here. But Reese comes out ahead of this on this lap. So we're now halfway through this race. So time is it's going to start becoming a factor for these guys in terms of the final finishing positions. And as we said, a penalty could be handed out here, so that would be a point deduction. And so it's going to be as important as possible to score as many, well, as it is throughout the competition, to score as many points as possible. But
especially
now, because we are in the final race, there is no place left to hide, and you know, that cutoff could be just about anywhere. So some of the guys on the bubble really need to push it at this point.
Okay, so lap 3 is well underway. We're about 40 seconds of the way through. Once again, Matt Cresci just absolutely destroying at the moment. Looks like he's going to head towards his second straight first place here in these heats in the final round. Unfortunately, a couple of wheels off there for Reese, but it looks like he's able to compose himself. Once again, though, Darwin just pulling a little bit farther ahead into second.
Yeah, Darwin is putting in a great drive here. He's kept a pretty good margin between him and Reese and Brian's battle. So they going at it there, that can cost them both some time and hinder their ability to fight for second place. But overall, a good performance out of these guys. Clean racing. There has been some contact, but I don't think it's at a lot of fault of these guys, because they're pushing so hard. There's so much on the line here.
But we still do have a close enough race that I certainly expect quite a bit of action on the way out. Actually, Darwin running a little slow through a few corners there, and he does allow third and fourth to catch up on him a little bit. So it's certainly still anyone's game for those, I should say, for second place at the moment. Again, Matt Crashy just running away with things in the lead.
Right, yeah, he's secured a very healthy margin now. So he's looking very good as long as he can keep from making any mistakes. I don't think these guys will be giving him too much of a threat. Look here at Reese here, making a pretty wild move, taking full advantage of the curbs there, and he may actually have a shot at Darwin, but doesn't look, well, he's right on his bumper there.
And he's trying to go through the inside, but doesn't look like he has enough speed through the corner to be able to make any sort of move. So we're settling back into position, although second and third now very, very close.
Very close. We may have a three-way fight for second, actually, if Brian can hold on and keep up with these guys.
A really nice line there from Brian through the through that first turn as well.
He made up a lot of time. Now he is right on the bumper of Reese. We have a very close race going with just 2 laps to go here. This is very exciting stuff.
No kidding. This has proven to be one of our more interesting groups. Again, with the exception of Matt, who's just racing so well at them. It cannot be overstated enough how dominating Matt has been in these groups. He gets himself a small advantage and just runs away with it.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to take full advantage of a race lead. Here we go. Darwin is got the inside line. Reese is staying with him, and look at Brian, he's right there with the pack. So this is still anyone's game. The tiniest mistake, dropping a wheel off from these curves, and everything could change.
That is most certainly the case. And look at this, guys getting very close there. Looks like, is anyone going to try and plan anything through these turns? Brian getting very close to Reese there. Reese not really able to get any traction, though, and catch up to Darwin. Oh, he gets a wheel off of the course there, but he holds it together and doesn't lose too much time.
Yeah, Darwin has he's got a lot going on in his mirrors, but he's focused on the road ahead, and that's exactly what he needs to do to hold on to that second position. But tell you what, Brian and Reese are certainly fighting for it. They need those extra points.
And yeah, we'll especially see how these turns start to pan out. Once again, we've seen some action here in the past. Doesn't look like anyone is going to make any sort of a move now, but we're getting up to that pretty critical chicane where people have been maybe even a little overeager at times.
Yes, that's easy. It's easy to do here, as we said. A lot of Formula One drivers and the best of the best can trip up on this course. That's why it's so famous for being so difficult. Such a great stage to hold in the last round of this competition.
And we are actually very, very close right now. The inside line is going to Darwin at the moment, and he is able to comfortably jump back out into second. But for a while there, Reese was really catching up, and it looks like he may be trying something here.
Yes, a little bit of bumping, nothing too serious.
And, oh, if we notice there at the end, Brian tried to duck back in on the inside line and kind of shut Reese out, but wasn't able to get it done. But everyone is just so close. Now, this corner is where Brian has shined in the past. Corner number 1, he takes a wider line, but then really can carry much more speed.
There he is, right there. Yeah, he's ready to take full advantage with Reese. It looks like Reese may actually be overtaking Darwin right now into Eau Rouge. Could be setting up here for a interesting result. 2 wide in Eau Rouge.
Oh, a little bit of contact there, but it doesn't look like anyone's going to be thrown off quite yet. Reese actually was thrown back a bit, but he does move into second place. We're moving up the hill now. Brian trying to pull around from the outside. He goes a little bit sideways, but holds it together, and they do fall back into place. Reese, then Darwin, then Brian.
Oh, going 3 wide up the hill. Oh, wow, a little bit of bumping, but once again, nothing too serious. Brian may be taking a pass on Darwin there. Look there, Reese is now up into second place.
Oh, and Brian goes off just a bit, and it looks like he is going to be able to hold it, though. So for the time being, he is in second place. We'll have to see how it pans out, though. And yes, Darwin moving back to fourth.
Yes, Darwin is in fourth. I was surprised to see that. Brian was able to get by him. Reese looks like he may be pulling out just a tiny gap over the other two guys. So, yeah, Darwin is now in fourth. So that's an interesting development. We're on lap 5 now. So, so we are nearing the end of this race and the end of this entire competition.
And we want to let you guys know that all of the race stewards need to sit down and they need to review every single one of these replays afterwards. It is very close for the final couple of spots. As such, it's going to take a very long time. So what's going to happen, we'll give you guys kind of an idea. The broadcast will come down after the last set of races. We'll say our goodbyes, thank our sponsors. But the broadcast is going to come down because it's going to be an hour-plus gap in between when this race ends and the announcements are going to come out. So we will have those for you on various social media, which we'll announce pretty soon.
Yes, we'll be covering that on GT Planet as well. So so stay tuned. It's been great to watch this, but we do want to make sure that all the points are tallied fairly, and the stewards have done a great job keeping it very. Oh, it looks like Darwin getting a little bit of trouble there.
Oh wow. And unfortunately, that may have put him back in a position a little bit too far to make a serious run at this, barring any sort of mistakes.
That's right. Yeah, we are going on to the final lap of this race now. So the gaps have spread out a little bit. We were really close at the start of the last lap, but a lot happened on that last lap, and just the guys are spread out a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Right. I think Matt Cresci's letting the top down somewhere out there and letting his hair go in the wind because he can pretty much do whatever he wants at this point. He's just enjoying the ride, as we can see. We're taking a look at his camera right there.
Yes, a very dominant performance and great laps. Looks like that from him. 2:23.7 is his best, and great turning point there. And
yeah, just
very smooth drive, very uneventful. Looks like he's
9 seconds ahead right now. That was actually the split between first and second at the moment. So still, certainly something could happen. He could go way off course, but not likely. So let's go ahead and jump back and take a look at the battle for second once again. And as we can see, things spreading out just a little bit.
Yeah, no, looks like Brian is not able to take the fight to Reese just yet. He does seem to have a few of the corners that he is able to take a better line on, but he's going to have to close that gap before he can take a shot at him. And it looks like Darwin is still in fourth, falling back from third and second, where the battle is going to be closest, has the potential to be closest.
That is certainly right. So 3 big turns here, and then we hit a couple of sweepers around the back before the chicane, and that is going to be all she wrote. So we're actually coming down to the last minute of our final race here at Nissan's GT Academy 2012 National Finals. And we are going to determine those 16 racers here who are going to advance, get that position at Silverstone Circuit in the UK very, very soon.
Yes, we are about to be, well, as you said, the stewards need to take a look at everything. But, yeah, a lot of our top guys have already been decided. So really an exciting couple of weeks of preparation ahead for them, and exciting month ahead next month in August, when they'll be heading over to England for a very intensive boot camp to learn how to become a professional racing driver. That will, of course, be a reality TV show on Spike TV this fall. So definitely want to keep an eye out for that.
I know I will be. So there we go. Matt has just gone across the line, and it looks like Reese Gould is going to finish in second. Brian Rice in third. Darwin Albano in fourth. And that has concluded our final heat here at Nissan's GT Academy 2012. Congratulations to all of our racers who did participate. An incredible performance from all of them. And the results are in. We just have to review them. But our 16 racers are going to come out here pretty quick.
Yes, yes, they are. It's been such a great competition. It's been such a treat to be here. I have to thank all of the production crew working here with IGN PL. They've done a great job keeping us straight and keeping everything set here. It's been a pleasure working with you, Kevin.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I've received a lot of great messages from the GT Planet community about you, and it's been a really a great treat for me. It's been such such a fun experience, and I'm really happy to have helped bring this to everybody watching at home. I know a lot of the guys that were near the top 32 but didn't quite make it and couldn't make it to Racer X were watching at home to see what the next stage of competition held. So it's just been a great treat. Thanks for watching to everyone out there.
Well, Jordan, it was a pleasure casting with you as well, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again sometime. To the folks who are watching over at gtplanet.net, thanks very much. I have a big heart for you guys, as I love you all. And that is going to wrap up our coverage here of the Nissan GT Academy 2012 National Finals. Like I said, there's a lot of reviewing that has to happen. It's going to be probably an hour or more before we ever know results. So we are going to bring down the stream right now. We want to give, again, a big thanks to Nissan, Sony, Polyphony Digital, Human Racing, Thrustmaster for their support of this event. You guys can find out more information about all of these on gtplanet.net, on ign.com/IPL. And for everyone here with the IPL TV crew, it was a pleasure bringing these races to you, and we'll certainly catch you later.